Everybody, and welcome to the live broadcast. Don't wait to be great. I am your host, Mr. Derek Forston, and we're super excited, just like every Saturday. But if two or three of you guys can tell me that you can hear me loud and clear, sometimes I come in here talking, running my big mouth, and you guys can't hear a word I'm saying. So if two or three people can tell me that they can hear me in the chat, we'll be good to go. But other than that, man, welcome. Good morning to everybody. Today is a great day to be alive. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff today. We got a lot of new people also joining us. So as you guys know, I'm going to give a recap of who we are and what we do. But literally, I've already put on screen kind of what we're going to be talking about today. How do we make an impact and an income at the same time? And how do we do that in the game of real estate? How do we do that involving the love of God, right? The love for people, some patience, and again, real estate all mixed into one. So I'm super excited. We got a lot of different families that's joining us, and that's really exciting to us because we get a lot of individuals all the time. But what I like about what a lot of people are doing, you guys are bringing your family. So there's a lot of people that I've already texted and say, Derek, man, it's 13, 14, 15 of us literally in my living room watching this on the 50, 60-inch screen TV. So that excites us. And again, if you're new to us, let us know in two ways. I want to know in the chat. Let us know if you're new in terms of where you're located. How in the world did you find us? But also, I want to give you a free gift. So if you just text the word new to the phone number 407 326 0086, my team's got a free gift that we want to give you. And I'm actually going to put that on the screen. I'm going to scroll it across the bottom at some point. But again, if you're new to us, I want you to let us know in two ways. Text it on the in the chat so that I can shout you out. But also, I want to give you a free gift. We just like those new big churches that when you come for the first time, they give you a free gift. We the same way. So one of our greatest ebooks, and it's something that we live by, and it's called Don't Wait to Be Great. So if you're new to us, I want to give you that ebook for free. And the only thing you got to do is just type the word new to the phone number 407 326 0086. And Amina, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. I super appreciate that. I want you to make sure that you also text that to that phone number because we want to give you a free gift just like we promised. Sky, good to see you here. I think my team and I were talking to you this morning, Sky. So thank you so much for being here. We super appreciate it. And also, we love to hear how people found out about us. So I run my big mouth everywhere. So whether you guys found me on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Clubhouse, Chatter, any of that stuff, LinkedIn, let us know how you found us. And also we're streaming on Clubhouse as well. So if you're on any app to where we are and you can only hear what we're saying, we actually encourage you guys to come on over to YouTube. That way you guys can see some of the footage that I'll be showing. But really quickly, we're going to jump right into it. I'm going to bring my beautiful wife on stage. I do this new thing now, y'all, where I kind of introduce Shay. I don't let her just kind of come on stage with me. I make this whole big deal out of it. So in fact, let's do that even before I get into that. Let's have Shay join us now. So ladies and gentlemen, I present to you my beautiful wife. She is the founder of the Angela Denise Foundation. She is the founder, the thought leader of the Angela Denise Foundation, which takes women from homeless to hopeful and a bunch of other populations. I'm going to let her tell you, though, she does a lot of stuff in the community. She's also a worship leader. She's a singer, songwriter. My wife does a bunch of stuff, y'all. She's got this new T-shirt brand. But nevertheless, Shay, tell the people who you are, what you do, and how you jump on stage before I hit the button. How did that happen?
I don't know, but good
Go
morning,
ahead, Shay.
everybody. I'm Shania Shea Forston, the president and founder of the Angela Denise Foundation, 501c3 nonprofit organization here in Orlando, Florida, taking women from homeless to hopeful, utilizing the ILF model. Derek, you said a lot. Listen, we're doing some amazing things in the community. We'll be preparing to send out some toiletry totes this week. What is a toiletry tote? That is a nice bag with all types of essential toiletries that we hand out to the homeless population here in our community. We also hand them out to other organizations that we work with. Like prime example, the other day we were at the Orange County Jail and we were able to deliver some of those toiletry totes to them as well. So again, the Angela Denise Foundation is doing a lot of things in the community, looking at evolving and expanding into some other outreach opportunities for 2025. So I'm just excited to be able to share. I may be able to show off my shirt designs today, Derek. I have some
We'll do that whole change out
Yeah.
thing like you did
No, I
last week.
actually have some images. I'm not going
Oh,
to
okay,
change out
cool,
today.
cool.
So I
Okay.
have some images, and you will be able to start pre-ordering or at least placing your information in our system, so that we can get you in the cycle. We've got pricing, we've got everything. The Faith line is something that will be going towards the toiletry tote campaign. So every shirt that's purchased will provide 3 toiletry totes for a specific population, whether it's the school system or whether it's, people coming in from homelessness that need access to toiletries, or going to other organizations to help them provide toiletries. We're looking at getting ready to do like a feminine hygiene kit for young ladies in the schools. So, sometimes kids end up getting their menses young ladies get their menses while they're in school. And have minimum to no resources. So the goal is to make sure that there are resources available for these individuals while they're at school, to help them navigate that. So that's what we're doing at the Angela Denise Foundation. I'm excited to share. And again, I hope y'all are ready to start buying these Faith shirts. They are amazing. I'm so excited about the designs.
Yep, I wore one yesterday.
You
Actually,
sure
so,
did.
yep.
I got some good pictures of you too.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, good stuff.
So we'll probably show off a little bit of some of Derek's modeling antics.
Probably why I wasn't paying attention knowing her. She just probably was taking pictures of me. So either way, good stuff.
Yeah. But super excited to be here today. Love to answer any questions that anybody may have in regards to how do I do this housing from a nonprofit standpoint. So I'm excited to share that information with you all. Again, follow us at the Angela Denise Foundation on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and get to know who we are, get to see some of the things that we're doing, and be a part of our mission. So that's it from me, Derek.
Absolutely. So again, man, welcome one and welcome all. Not sure how long we'll be here today, but we're usually here for about an hour. Saturdays I get a little loose. But if you guys remember us from the olden days, we used to come here for 3 and 4 hours at a time.
We ain't doing that today.
But we're usually here for about an hour. So if you guys got any questions in terms of what we're talking about, let us know. I'm gonna do a lot of talking today, right? But I want to make sure that I don't go over anybody's head, especially our new people. I want you guys to ask questions. Now, on my screen, it looks like I'm skipping a little bit. But again, if you guys can hear me loud and clear, the skipping stuff don't bother me, right? Like those Chinese movies where I'm talking and then my mouth stops and it keeps going. Somebody let me know that. But again, if you can hear me loud and clear, that won't bother me per se. So again, if you just joined us, we simply are a company and a family and a consulting business that teaches you guys really what's already on your heart. Most of y'all love God, you love people, and you love real estate. You just never knew how to mesh it all together. So my family and I, we trademarked the phrase independent living facility. Now, some people call this a lot of different things, right? And I'm gonna give y'all a lot of terms, right? But we trademarked and we coined it and we trademarked independent living facility. But watch this. I don't care what you call it. This is simply a shared living environment. That's the whole thing with this, right? So if you love real estate, if you love God and you love people, give me 5 of y'all that say, yeah, Derek, that's me. So I'll stick around. So again, if you love God, love people, and love real estate, this is it. Sit tight. Don't go nowhere. Hopefully you got your coffee already. But this combines the love of God and social services all mixed into one, and it doesn't require a license. You don't have to own the property, and there's no state oversight. And right there, some of y'all should be jumping up and down for joy, because if you were anything like me 9 years ago, when I was trying to figure out how to help people, how to be the answer in my community for when it comes to affordable housing, and how can I do God's will at the same time and what God will also be proud of me? Yeah. And guys, as a social worker, man, I saw a lady living my dream, literally doing what this is. So if you've never seen our introductory webinar, it breaks all of that down. I'm gonna talk to you guys more so like family today, though. So if you want more of a chronological order of what we do and who we are, make sure you watch that webinar. Because today, Amina, I'm gonna treat you guys like family, right? I'm gonna just have a conversation with y'all and explain to y'all why is ILFs going to be the future of what we call now social housing. I'm gonna give y'all probably 5 different names that people call what we do. Right. My family and I, especially my wife, was smart enough to say, Derek, we should trademark that. Yeah. You keep talking about ILF, independent living facility. Derek, do anybody own it? You just can't be saying that. And thank God for my wife who's smarter than me and said, Derek, let me go to the ISSPO or whatever that thing is called. USPTO. So if you guys go look that up, you're going to see Shay and I's name under independent living facility. But again, I don't care what you call it. Just remember the model says that we're going to house the displaced, the elderly, the military veteran, or anybody that's got a guaranteed income. The guy that can't pass a background check, the guy that don't have 3 times the monthly income to rent the place, right? We're looking for that guy. So I'm that middle ground from somebody being homeless on the street to what we offer, because a lot of people today, even in your city, Sky, they can't afford your rent by themselves. They can't afford to buy a house. So what if we go out and rent or lease, or if you lucky like Sky, she already owns a property. What if you have a property already? You say, you know what? I wouldn't mind doing this thing that Derek them doing. They're doing something that's similar to multifamily. If you're following our Instagram and Facebook and all that YouTube stuff, you will see I put a post out this week that says what we do is similar to a multifamily real estate. I got a buddy right now that owns an 8-plex unit. That means he bought a big old building that got 8 individual units attached to it. That's called multifamily. Y'all, he housed 8 people, 8 families. Guys, I go get the same 4-bed, 2-bath home that I don't even own it. I can rent it or lease it. So if I hadn't said that yet, congratulations. Because that was the biggest cheat code to me. When I found out, Miss Betty, that I can go and rent this place or lease it, because as a poor social worker, I couldn't afford to buy no house.
Yeah.
But Shay, as soon as I found out that I could rent it to do this same thing that God has already put on my heart, I was like, game over. So again, if you're new to us, man, I'm going to say a lot of stuff today, but people call this shared housing, community living, communal living. We do not call these group homes or ALFs or IDDs or APDs. All of those require a license, state oversight, and staff. Shay, you a nonprofit and do the same thing that I do. Shay, do you have staff?
I don't.
Do you have state oversight?
I don't.
So no difference, guys. Shay and I are going to talk the same game today. I'm just an LLC, because if you see on my shirt, my program is called Second Chance Housing. Now, when I coach you all, I don't want y'all using the word housing. I learned that years later.
Right.
I should have been Second Chance Solutions. I should have been Second Chance Foundation like Shay became. Second Chance Enterprise, Second Chance Group. And that's a whole nother coaching of why we do that. But again, if you love God, love people, and love real estate, and you want to quit your job this year, you just got introduced to the greatest thing that God really loves. Because Derek didn't say it, but the Bible said it, Amina, that the poor and needy will always be among us.
Correct.
It also said that we're to take care of the poor, the needy, and the widow.
Yeah.
And one more thing, it says that when you do unto the least of thee, God said it's like he's doing it unto him. And watch this, because Scott, you're going to think I'm a preacher. I'm not a preacher. I'm not a pastor. I'm not a bishop. But the Richardson family, we love God, we love people, and we love real estate. And another thing that we live by, and I'm going to move on from this part of it, is that we want to please God. We want to help people. We want to be respected by the community while we're doing it. But I also want y'all to make enough money to feed your family, Miss Betty. Yeah. That's what's tied up into this thing, and that's why it's so genius. We're being the answer in the community for when it comes to affordable housing. But guess what? I'm not asking y'all to do this for free. Does that make sense, everybody? I'm not asking you guys to house people in a shelter for free. And I'm praying to God right now, because one day I want a shelter. I want a big old commercial building, Shay, that you and I go run. It's going to be full of case managers and social workers, and it's going to have housing inside of it to get people on their feet to be able to move into an apartment or an ILF. That's going to come down the road. Today, I want you guys to build a program, a ministry, a business that houses the homeless, the displaced, the needy, the widow, the teenager aging from foster care system, the military veteran, the working individual.
Right.
Shay get a lot of those.
Yeah.
I get a lot of the guys that they can't hold no job, but they get this Social Security income, and that's how they pay their rent. Shay get a lot of people that have jobs, but just can't afford that apartment.
Right.
Can't afford the down payment to buy a house.
Absolutely.
So that's my small introduction to who we are and what this is. But the title says, are ILFs the future of social housing? And somebody might say, well, what is social housing? Well, I kind of put it up earlier, but I'll put a small example back up on the screen here, right? And it kind of is speaking to it here. Social housing is just that we're going to get a place. And guys, if you ain't hit the lottery last week and you can't buy a house, no problem. You can rent or lease the building. Right. That's how I started as a poor social worker, making 28 grand a year. I leased a house, 3-bed, 2-bath. That was my first home. And I'm going to show y'all the picture of it today. And I built relationships, Sky, with social workers, case managers, and social service providers, the Goodwill, the Salvation Army, the mental health hospital, the substance abuse centers, counselors, Shay, therapists, Shay. Yeah, these are all the people that I call my funnel system. Shay, who the majority of your calls come from all week long?
Oh my goodness. Mental health providers, for the most part, are, calling my phone. Prime example, we were at lunch yesterday and I got a call, had to do an assessment. But for the most part, again, the average individual that's seeking help, because my phone is actually listed on a lot of resources, especially 211. They can dial up and look for resources.
That's a gem all by itself. Get yourself listed in 211, ladies and gentlemen. Chat GPT or Google how to do that. Yep. Or call 211 and say, hey, I got a resource, ma'am. How do I get on this list? I'm dropping gems now. Please write these notes down. Yeah. Get your information on 211. So when people don't know about you, Jones family, they dial 211 and 211 say, hey, we got a resource. Right. Call the Jones family. This is exactly what they do. And here's a list of other providers. Somebody put in the chat. That's smart. I didn't know that. Yeah. Because guys, I didn't know that either in the beginning. That's my whole coaching style. Learn something that changed my life and give it to y'all.
But the funny thing about that for you, Derek, is somebody placed you on 211.
Because I remember, Shay, when I first tried, like they didn't approve me because I wasn't a nonprofit.
Correct. But somebody else placed you on 211 as a resource. So notice that when you are doing good works or great works in your community, you don't have to be the one that goes out and or broadcast what you're doing.
Other people are doing.
Although you should, right? And you need to, but just be mindful that when you are doing good, the word's going to go out about what you do. And in this instance, Derek tried very hard to get on 211 and was unable to do so. And then one day a phone call comes through and they're like, I found your number. I got your number off of 211. And we both looked at each other like, well, how that happened, when we know that wasn't even a opportunity for you. And then when we called 211, they were like, no, you're here. And that was it. So just be mindful of that people will go and place you places. Prime example, another community group that I've never been introduced to has started calling us very much regularly. And we actually have to schedule an appointment to go and visit them because somebody just shared our information. So just be mindful that you want to be a walking billboard and make sure that you carry yourself in such a way that other people will take your information and run with it as well. So,
and I'm going to piggyback on that too, because right here in the middle of what I wrote on screen says offering supportive and affordable options for those in need. I was reading some statistics this morning, and do you guys know that in less than 5 years, the elderly population will double in homelessness? So meaning the elderly people that are right now homeless, and we serve a lot of them, guys, it's going to double by 2030. That's in 5 years, ladies and gentlemen. That is staggering. So can you imagine? And I always frame it like this. For us that are still blessed to have grandparents, and I don't, and that's a blessing if you do. If you are blessed to have grandparents, can you imagine your grandmother or your grandfather needing this or being homeless on the street? And this is where you come in at Richardson Family. That's what you guys called me about this week. Derek, how can I start this and let my first client be my grandmother? She can't afford where she's living now.
Exactly.
Like you guys already told me that. So again, for us, social housing is just, and here's a great example of social housing. I moved in a new resident about 5 days ago now. I think today makes day 6 for him. Guess what my tenants were saying the 2 weeks previous to him coming? Derek, when we get somebody else? Derek, we need another guy. Derek, I'm bored. I want somebody else to talk to.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm housing people that are asking for community. That is asking for a social living. They want to talk to other people. They all find things in common. So I hope that makes sense. So don't get so left field when I mention the word social housing. Is it still ILFs, co-living, shared living, communal living. This is where we take one asset and rent to multiple people. No different from that multifamily that I keep telling you guys about. My buddy, Chad, you can remove that comment. My buddy owns an 8-unit building, and y'all, he paid a lot of money for that multifamily.
Right. Yeah.
Guys, I can go and rent a 4-bed, 2-bath home, and we can house the same people. But guess who's making a bigger impact? And probably making just as much or more money than he is. And watch this. With him, if mom or dad loses a job, my buddy gonna suffer a little bit, right?
Right.
But with me, that one asset and everybody pays rent in the inside of it, that's kind of what makes this also a no-brainer. So we talk a lot about making impact while making an income. And guys, don't forget, if you got questions, please put them in the chat. Shay, if I miss it, you make me aware.
You got it.
Somebody asked me, well, Derek, who in the world are you and why you got the right to talk about this? Well, Shay tricked me to go to college, y'all, a couple years ago. That was not my plan. Graduated with a bachelor in science from the University of Phoenix. And I was a social worker discharge planner for over 9 years, begging God to change my life through real estate and helping people. Dummy me, God gave me everything I asked him for, at least, but I didn't see it. And I'm an advisory board on the Osolo Kissimmee FAC team and a bunch of other boards that Shay and I both are a part of when it comes to housing and affordable living in my city. Never mind that. My story was this right here. What most of y'all see on this screen, the rats and the roaches and the filth and the grime, this is not what we're going to do. Y'all, I saw a lady making $41,000 a month every 30 days doing what I'm explaining to y'all today. The only difference is, y'all, that she did it in rats and roaches. And the devil is a liar when you're treating, these are God's people, y'all. And one day we're going to be held accountable for how we treated them. And how dare you house people in conditions like this when you're making $41,000 a month? Can 3 of y'all just put in the chat, if you made 41 grand a month, would that change your life a little bit? Y'all, I was making 28 grand a year. And it broke my heart to see this lady treating these people like this. And then somebody asked me, Jones family, it was the Jones family and the Richardson family. Y'all don't even know each other, but y'all asked the same question. Derek, what was your turning point? What made you say, Derek, I got to get into this? When I found out that I referred a lady as a social worker to a housing place, because back then they just called them group homes.
Yeah, that was just a universal title.
And that was a universal title.
Right.
And y'all, when I found out, because if you've watched my webinar, you know this story. If you did it, I'm going to give you the quick version. Nobody would teach this to me or show it to me. I took a Saturday just like this, y'all, probably 7 years ago. And I said, man, you know what? Nobody want to show me, so I'm going to just go and see what they look like. Derek, you know all the addresses and you know where they're at. Just go, Derek. And y'all, to make a long story short, I bumped into a young lady, and we'll just call her Kelly. I was like, Kelly, you live here? Kelly looked at me and was like, Derek, you serious, bro? You sent me here. I was like, Kelly, well, where's your bed? Because y'all, when I first walked into the house, I saw about 13 or 14 people in a 3-bed, 2-bath home. And one of the doors had a dadgum lock on the door, Betty. So now we're talking 2-bed, 2-bath with 13 people in it. The devil is a liar. So this is what broke my heart. I saw a lady that I referred, Mr. Social Worker, because y'all, I didn't know it. I sat behind a desk with a computer and a pad with a bunch of names on it, like a bunch of y'all people here, but y'all are good people. Yeah, the people that I was referring to either were full to capacity or they were housing people in rats and roaches.
Yes, sir.
So y'all, I'll admit, we discharged a lot of people to the street because there wasn't no choice. But when I saw this lady, y'all, it broke my heart because I, social worker Derek, sent her there. And guess what her bed was, y'all? I said, Kelly, can you show me where you sleep at? Because there's a lot of people in here. Kelly went to walking, y'all. She headed towards the kitchen. I'm like, why are we going towards the kitchen? Y'all, that girl bent that corner, and I'll never forget this. She had a 3-inch mat about this thick, about 3 feet long in front of the kitchen stove, ladies and gentlemen. And I tell people right now, if that don't break your heart, you're around the wrong people right now. We love God, we love people, and we love real estate. And I'll be dadgummed if we gonna house people like that, especially when we making the money.
Come on, Derek. Yeah.
That's the part that'll blow your mind, Patrice. Patrice, you and your family say there's 18 of y'all in front of a 90-inch screen TV right now. Can you imagine your grandmother sleeping on the floor that you're paying $750 a month from your hard-working job? Guys, that broke my heart. And I said, the devil is a liar. We got to get into this and change the way homeless people are being viewed, and we got to change the way they live in.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just because they're homeless, y'all, we don't got to treat them like this. And that's why, again, guys, I said, God, if you let me get in it, I'll go all over the world sharing it, and I'll never take any credit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, most of y'all gonna learn this from me in a few sessions. Most of y'all gonna learn this by getting my coaching. Y'all, it took me 2 years and I lost 60 pounds trying to figure this thing out, because once I got the vision, I couldn't eat and I couldn't sleep until I got it. But watch this, read this. What was your breaking point, Derek? When God gave me the vision of what I was supposed to be doing, I couldn't eat and I couldn't sleep until I figured it out. God tugged at my heart. I saw the need and I took action. And that's a lot of what we're going to be asking you all today. We live by this other phrase that says, move at the speed of revelation, or move at the speed of instruction. Because what we're going to turn it into is something that looks like this now. And again, this right here also isn't rocket science, because most of y'all are just like me. Y'all couldn't go buy no house. I'm gonna say that again, and not as an insult. Most of y'all are just like me many years ago, guys, making $28,000 a year. And God showed me my dream through this lady that was making 41 grand a month, housing people in rats and roaches. Now today we rent these places and we build relationship with social workers, case managers, and social service providers to change it to something that now looks like this, something you can be proud of now. Can you see the difference in that? So again, just really quickly, I'm going to take some questions because I also don't want to get too far ahead. You guys know that Shay does this as a nonprofit. I do this as a regular LLC.
Yeah.
5 families that I know for sure, just from my own knowledge, that are new to us today. Sky, I think you're new to us. Andrea, I think you're new to us. Miss Elise and family, you guys are new. Amina, you guys are new. If you have any questions or any concerns about anything that you just heard, please let me know. Type it in the chat. I'm the opposite of the lady and the people that I begged to teach this to me years ago. And y'all, everybody hid it from me. And that one girl said, Derek, I'll never teach you to do this, but look at what I make doing it, Derek. She took her phone out, y'all, and showed me $41,000 a month that she was making. And when I found out that she was doing this, mistreating people, that's what all the respect went down the window. Y'all, I respected this lady so much. I thought she was saving people and being the hero of her community. But once I saw the conditions, I said, oh, I see what's going on here. This lady mistreating people. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a quick break. We're going to pay some bills. We're going to come right back. When I do come back, I want to see 7 questions in the chat because I want to help you all. It's great to listen to this stuff, but bring your questions. And I got a lot of more material that I also want to share with you guys. You guys are joining us at the podcast, Don't Wait to Be Great, where we share how to do shared housing, co-living, communal living, and you don't have to own the real estate, and there's no license required. We'll be right back. If you've ever imagined of starting your own housing program, there is no reason that after we're done here tonight that you shouldn't go to forstonconsultants.com/webinars and watch the webinar, guys, because a lot of you have wanted to start a group home or traditional assisted living facility, but that stuff takes license. It takes a lot of time to open. There's a lot of red tape to jump through. You have to ask for permission. We teach you guys how to open an ILF, an independent living facility, where you can house the homeless, displaced adults, or anybody that has a guaranteed income, and it doesn't require a license, and you don't have to own the property. Make sure you watch that free webinar at forstonconsultants.com/webinars, and then set up a free strategy call so that me and my team can get you started. Let's get back to the show.
All right, family, do us a favor and make sure that you can hear us loud and clear. If you can hear us, just put a number 1 in the chat so we can confirm that.
Looks like I wasn't coming through my roadcaster. Do I sound different now that we're back? I just noticed something when I played that commercial. Could you guys hear me the whole time? Do I sound different now? Because it looks like I wasn't hooked up to the roadcaster. Could you guys hear that commercial too?
Can you check your audio settings and just make sure that everything's routing?
Yeah. Let me see. What is the difference between? Okay, perfect. So we got some questions in the chat. So let me take this down because I absolutely want to answer some questions. In fact, I'll leave this up actually because I'll just scroll pictures as we're looking. There's another family that's asking, Derek, can you show more pictures of what it looks like? So I'll just keep scrolling. And guys, watch this. Everything that we mostly purchase for an ILF comes gently used. So as great as this stuff looks, guys, none of this stuff is really brand new other than the pillow, the sheets, the comforter, things of that nature. But the mattresses, the dressers, the lamps, all of the things that make it pretty, we actually get that stuff donated to us gently, guys, and we teach you all how to do that. So let's go to chat. Let's bring some. I have questions that already were typed in, but we always respect the chat first. So let's jump on that first, Shay, and we can bring up our first question as I continue to teach.
All right, go for so the first question I'm going to pull up.
I see one that says, why not use the word housing?
Yes, I pulled that one up.
So that's a part of our business coaching, right? So we also just teach business just in general. And I found out probably years later after I started that I shouldn't use the word housing. And this is some great coaching. So everybody write this down. Now watch this. The social worker or the case manager or the social service provider, they don't care what your name is. That's not for them. This is for banking purposes. So literally the bank looks at real estate as a high risk industry.
Yes.
So through my business coaching, because I want y'all to go to the bank and get the bag, right? I don't want you to use a name that's going to hinder you from getting, instead of a $20,000 business credit card, they give you a $2,000 business credit card because you used the wrong name. Mm-hmm. One more time slowly. The word housing or anything to deal with real estate lets the bank know that you may be high risk. So they don't want to give you bank loans, lines of credit, credit cards, and they're going to, again, put you as a high risk industry. But guess what the bank loves? Consulting. Correct. Enterprise, group, foundation. So I'm giving you guys $1,000 worth of game just by telling you that. So Sky, essentially Sky, my name should have been Second Chance Solutions, right. Second Chance Enterprise, Second Chance Group, Second Chance Foundation, Second Chance nothing, just Second Chance. Be generic, right?
Yeah.
So again, it doesn't lock you into real estate. And that's some real important coaching. Give me 3 people in the chat that says, okay, Derek, that does make sense. Now, I never looked at it that way. Mm-hmm. And again, I only teach that because I didn't know that. So when you know better, you do better. I'm a consultant. My job is to teach all the better way to do things. And again, I don't want you guys to go to the bank and be high risk. Miss Shay?
Yeah, no, I was just wanting to say, piggybacking off of what you said, we've seen the significant difference in the lending when it comes from the, Second Chance Housing or the Angela Denise Foundation. We've seen specific, vast differences in how the banks are lending to us because of the entity title or name. They dig a little deeper into, well, what do you do? And they're looking for that real estate aspect of it when you have the word or the phrase housing attached to it. So, it really limits you in what you can get financially.
Good stuff. And also, guys, if you're on any forum to where you can only hear us, I see quite a few people in Clubhouse. You guys can actually come to Forston Consultants on YouTube. And Shay, if you can help me and put that link into Clubhouse, I want those people to jump over. Tiffany, Kevin, Patrick, I said a lot of you guys are jumping now and moving. So perfect. So YouTube should be getting now bigger. If you just migrated from anywhere else to come to YouTube, shout me out in the chat. I want to shout you out as well. And if you just joined us, on screen is what we're showing is how we furnish these places. And again, right now, the only brand new thing in the picture that you're looking at is that rug on the floor. I did buy that from Walmart for like $69.99, but all that furniture, all those lamps, even that chandelier that's hanging there, guys, all that stuff's gently used. So again, this is very similar to a multifamily because I take a 4-bed, 2-bath home. I create community. That's why the title today says, are ILFs the future of social housing? I got a lot of people that's been asking this week. I don't know where they're getting this term from, but Derek, is this similar to social housing? Why, yes, it is. Because we also work with social workers and case managers in the community. Guys, I hope y'all follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Shay showed you guys walking into the jail system, yet what, Shay, 2 days ago?
Yes.
Carrying those coffee and donuts, Please, 5 of y'all tell me that y'all seen that in the chat.
Coffee and donuts.
Because Katara, I tell these people so much of how to do it and I give the game away. I just want to know if people seeing it. Amina, did you see that on our page where we're building relationships? Because people say, well, Derek, where y'all get these people from? Guys, I literally show y'all. I showed you in the drive-through of us getting the coffee and donuts. I even showed you what it cost. We spent $35, y'all. And that $35 is going to bring well over 35 grand eventually over time. Because it builds relationship. And watch this, and I'm ending and give it over to Shay. We left that one meeting with 7 other meetings in the future. Because they want to introduce us to all of these people, all of these foundations, all of these people that have the money, all of these job fairs and work fairs and jail fairs. And there's so many fairs we're going to this week and this month and next month. All the way into like April, Shay.
No, I think the furthest out is May.
I think the furthest meeting that we got set, guys, is in May.
Mm-hmm.
So again, guys, I'm no genius. All this is the love of God and social services all mixed into one. These are not group homes, Jones family. You guys said, are these group homes? No, they're not. We don't use that word. These are independent living facilities. You can call this shared living, co-living, communal living, or social housing. That's my new one. Y'all gonna hear me say social housing a lot lately because that's what's coming through to the algorithm. People are calling, asking about, is this social housing? Sure is.
No difference.
We're building community because the reason why I say it's like multifamily, we take one asset that you can rent it. That's the cheat code, y'all. Most of us don't have a bunch of money to go and buy a place.
Right.
I didn't as that social worker. So again, I'm gonna end that because I can go on a whole soapbox. Back on you, Shay, and questions in the chat.
So the next question is, what is the difference between running it as an LLC and running it as a nonprofit? And how does that affect the residents? Oh man, this is a good one. For one, it doesn't affect the residents at all. The difference is how you obtain your funds, right? How you spend your funds. Like prime example for me, I can't just, pocket all the dollars I get from a nonprofit standpoint. Some of that I can earn a wage as the working individual of my nonprofit, but it's not me saying, okay, well, you know what? I made $50,000 this month, so I'm going to go ahead and leave 20 in the account and take the rest for myself. It doesn't work like that. Money or fund allocation is done with the buy-in or the direction of the board of directors of the nonprofit. And again, I don't own my nonprofit. I don't own the entity. The community does. So technically, all financing or funding should go back out as a resource to fund other projects or programs that a nonprofit is going to do. Nonprofits are not in the business of being profitable, but we can obtain or make a profit, if that makes sense. Our main goal is not to, be rolling in the dough. Oh, we got a whole bunch of money at the end of the year. What nonprofits are to do is to reallocate those funds to go back out into the community and create another outreach, another program, or something that can help build better communities, right? So nonprofits are literally like a initiative in the community, initiative to help do things in the community without having to climb through the governmental hoops and trap holes and all of that stuff, where we are the sounding board within the community, and we now develop things out that our community needs, and we utilize the funds that we either raise, that are donated, grants, all of that stuff to help push those projects. So that's the difference for me as a nonprofit. But when it comes to the housing aspect of it, housing is a part of my program. Housing is one part program of my nonprofit.
One part, you said.
Is one part of the programs, the programmatic piece of my nonprofit. So housing, providing housing, the monies that come in for rent and, bed fees and all of that stuff goes back out to do something else. Yes, I am able to take a payment for myself, a stipend for myself, but that of course goes before the board of directors and they approve it or deny it or say, you know what, Shay, can you can you scale that back some, because we looked at the financials and we really need to push this program or blah, 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 blah. They have a lot of buy-in in that conversation. So that's for the nonprofit standpoint. So Derek, for the for-profit or the LLC, go ahead and share.
Okay, and just repeat that question in case if anybody just joined us.
All right, the question is, what is the difference between running your ILF as an LLC or as a nonprofit, and how does it affect your residents?
So again, guys, as you see, the name of my program is called Second Chance, and I'm an LLC. So very different from Shay. I control all my finances. Shay does not. I don't answer to anybody per se. Shay does. I can make any decision financially that I want to inside of my business. Shay cannot. I can also do great works in the community, but people don't respect it as much as they do coming from the nonprofit foundation. Shay, in my eyes, probably makes a bigger impact in the community simply because she's nonprofit, right? You're never going to see me. Well, let me not say that. I rebuke that in Jesus' name. I'll say this. You're going to see Shay more likely get checks posing with $10,000 checks, $20,000 checks, $5,000 checks, $2,000 checks from banks, from community leaders, from her city, from Walmart, from Target, from all of these places. Probably not more so me, right? Because again, they work with nonprofit foundations. There is no picture on my social media right now where I'm holding a clearance house check the way Shay is. I don't get deposits from corporations like Shay does.
Right. Yeah.
So, but in terms of impact and what we do in housing people, the same thing. Shay's just got more opportunity to get funds to do it versus me.
Right.
So hopefully that makes sense. And again, more cost affordable for me to get an LLC than Shay.
And fast.
I also don't have a board of directors like Shay.
Right.
Does that make sense, everybody? Can two people tell me if that makes sense? Shay?
And I do have one more thing. And you asked, how does it affect the residents? My residents are affected because now I can write grants. I can write or submit grant applications to help them, right? So prime example, let's say if my population type are a group of individuals that are struggling with financial literacy, I can write a grant. I can write for a grant or apply for a grant that is literally going to donate money for me to hire somebody to come in and educate on financial literacy and do all of these other things to help them. My residents can also benefit. Like prime example, I received $10,000 and that was to go towards expenses, operating expenses, as well as a food pantry. So what we did is we spent about $3,000 plus for food supplies in the home. And that wasn't just, beans and, canned goods. We literally went to an organization and purchased fish and fresh fish and chicken and veggies and all of these things to have in the home. So that's how my residents are able to benefit, because I can write grants that truly benefit those that I house. Right. So now let me see, I can build a program based around my population.
Yep.
And then my program can now be funded by a grant. So, a grant or donations or partners and all of these things that we do, all of these methods that we use to obtain funding is beneficial. And my residents, my eye is always keeping it on my residents. How can I benefit my residents? What can I, what kind of grant can we write for? What kind of program, what kind of initiative can we implement that can help those that we house? So that's what I wanted to state.
I love it. And again, I see a lot of newer people joining on Clubhouse. Make sure you guys click that link at the top if you guys want to join the conversation and see the slides.
Yeah.
So, and also, I always jokingly say this, but if 3 people can tell me that you can see the slides and the pictures that are up, one time I thought I was showing all of these pictures, y'all, and the whole time their screen was blank. So a lot of y'all know me not to be the most techiest guy in the world. So
not even a little
give me 2 people that can say, yeah, Derek, I can see them 2 beds that are on that screen. But until then, Amina asked this: looking to help the elderly at risk of becoming unhoused, how do I serve a niche community such as that? Well, you just literally named my favorite population. So in this ILF model that we talk about all the time, there are several different populations that's going to need your help. my coaching leans to tell you guys to understand and know who you are as a person and what you got the patience to deal with and put up with, but also listen to what the community is dictating the need of.
That's important.
Right? So a lot of times we may have our own idea of who we want to house, but what if you're in a community where there's only military veterans that are younger? Even though the name veteran is in there, some guys get discharged at 35 years old and they still call them veterans. So think about that. So I always give the example, what if you get into this and you say, man, you know what? I want to house women. Women are on my heart. Correct. But the first 13 calls you get are from middle-aged men that have jobs but can't afford their own apartment and can't pass a background check. What do you say? Hey, sir, I'm sorry, but my niche is old women, so we can't help you buy. We're in the business of housing people. Now, I will admit, we teach a whole nother model of this called the HRA, the Housing Referral Agency. And you can now take that same car and refer that guy somewhere else now. And you don't leave him homeless because that's not your niche. But Amina, I'll be honest, is you just called out my favorite. Because watch this. I coach you guys to house according to your lifestyle and what the community is telling you. Lucky for me, my community is screaming for the elderly people. And my lifestyle today, Amina, I'm busy. I coach a lot of people. I own a lot of businesses, and I'm involved. I do a lot. I'm on here 3 days a week live, and I pour into a lot of people. That's my whole life. So today, Amina, I am not equipped to house the teenager agent from the foster care system.
Right.
I'm not equipped for the 21-year-old, especially if I want to house them with other 19-year-old women. Some people love to go co-ed. We don't do co-ed. Now, do I teach people, Amina, that go co-ed? Absolutely. My brother loved it.
That was her next question. So you went into,
do
you guys strictly have
she's falling right into where I'm going
males and then different houses?
So I'm going to let Shay jump on that. But my brother, who's no longer with us, who I started this whole thing with, and my brother passed away about a year ago, y'all. And we started this thing together. He loved co-ed. I did not.
That's the only way.
That's how he started. He said, Derek, God called me to house people, bro. My job ain't to be picky about it. And I love that. And we do believe in that. But under our coaching, you want to be careful, right? There's a lot of things that I'm going to bring out, but his attitude towards it is what I want everybody to have. Derek, I want a house whoever actually is appropriate, who has the income and passes the assessment. That's really what we're looking for. Because if y'all house everybody that call your phone, that'll be a clown show.
You've got to
pass the assessment. You got to house the right people. Shay, I'm going to let you hop in because I want you to go into that, what we just said, but also, do you separate them or do you do women and men? How do you do, Shay?
So currently how we do it, we balance the scale, right? Derek houses the man. I house the women. I do it in that manner because of the nonprofit structure, right? My nonprofit we do help males. Don't get that wrong. But when it comes to the housing program, my housing program is only equipped for housing female residents. Now I can add an addition of helping the male population as well. But because Derek and I do this together, he oversees and houses males. I oversee and house females. The other thing about that too is, when it comes to co-ed housing, I think people don't realize how strategic you have to be when it comes to this population, the mixing of populations. And that's why we tell people all the time, like, this is a conversation that we have, and we go into great depth in educating and informing people of how to do it appropriately, right? This is not a set it and forget it model, either one. Full male, full female is not like, okay, set it and forget it. You want to be aware enough to know who you're housing, and now being aware enough and being able to kind of assess who you're bringing in. So you want to be mindful of that. And that's why we're so hands-on in that assessment and that intake process with our clients, and with the people that we consult, our family. So that we can make sure you're making the right decision and that your housing program stays stable. The people don't realize that one bad or one missed judgment call in housing can cause a horrendous set of headaches and heartache, okay? To those that you're currently housing and to yourself financially, because you can lose a whole bunch of residents because of one bad decision. So Back to you, Derek.
Good stuff, Shay. I just want to put in the chat because a family asked this. Guys, we have over 665 videos on this topic. So there's nobody that teaches this style of housing and real estate the way that we do. So if God has called you to get involved in real estate, this is just a way to involve the love of God and social services into it. And no matter what you guys ask us today, we're going to answer every question. But I guarantee you, we already got this in a video format. So you will often see me get really perked up and bright if somebody asks something that's never been asked. But guys, there's over 665 videos on our YouTube channel. And again, if real estate or shared housing and the love of God is something you've always wanted to do and didn't know how to mesh it together, congratulations, you're in the absolute right place now. Okay. So another thing that I want to bring up real quick, and we're going to jump back into some questions, and I won't even mention the family's name that brought it up, but I got a whole slide for it. When I first told people that I was going to do this, people thought I was crazy, y'all. They called me idiot. They called me stupid.
I didn't call him names, but
work.
I thought he was crazy.
And even Shay thought it was a little off the hinges, right? But one thing about me, y'all, I saw this already. This wasn't some new concept that I thought of. Because first of all, I'm no genius. Right. And I'm quick to tell people that. Y'all, I barely graduated high school, and Shay tricked me to go to college. Nice. And we jokingly say that, but y'all, Shay drove me to a school, y'all, when they said, Derek, you got to do something with your life. I know you're a hustler. I know you grind and you do all this stuff, but Derek, let's get you an education. So now thank God for a great wife. Now my mission to y'all is not to go get a dadgum degree. Forget about that. I'm going to teach all this in less than 30 days of you knowing me. But my route was to go to school and get a degree and graduate. And when I finished and had a degree in human services, I said, man, you know what? Shay, I don't want to do nothing that's dealing with math or science. I like helping people. Yeah. And I went to that place, y'all, and that lady said, Derek, we'll see you next Thursday. I said, huh? I said, Shay, did I just sign up for school? Shay was like, yep, they're going to see you Thursday. Ain't lucky for me, y'all. God bless me, man. 4.5 years later, I walk across the stage, man, with a degree in human services. And my idea that when I got that social work job, because y'all, one thing about me, and I've always been this way, if you show me opportunity, if I can make some money, help people, and God gonna ultimately be proud of it or shine on it or love me for it, guys, let's go. I don't need a bunch of excuses. I don't need a bunch of explaining. And my brother was built the same way, because when I told him what it was, he was like, well, Derek, what is this thing you talking about? Yeah. I said, bro, it's like these group homes, man, but you don't have to own the place and you don't need a license. I said, that's the two things that stop most people. If I'm a liar, call me a liar in the chat right now. For most people that want to start something like this, what stop you is the license, the money to get into it, and nobody won't share it. Right. And we're the exact opposite of it. So people going to call you crazy. They're going to say it don't work. But Shay, I had already saw the proof of concept. And watch this, y'all, the way I think. I say, Lord, you showed me a lady living my dream, making $41,000 a month, housing your people, God, your people in rats and roaches. I say, God, if you let me get into this, I'll go all over the world teaching it, and I'll never take any credit. I say, God, this lady don't want to teach me. She don't want to show me. In fact, what I like about that lady so much, though, she was honest. She said, Derek, I'll never teach you how to do this, bro. You keep being a social worker and keep sending me these people. And y'all, I never saw the inside of a group home or an ILF or an APD. None of that stuff. I worked behind a desk and had a dream like most of y'all. Help people get into real estate. Type in the chat, me, if that's you. Guys, we're no different. Y'all want to help people and get in real estate. I just didn't know how to merge them together. But thank God for that lady that was making $41,000 every 30 days, y'all. Yeah. Mistreating people. I said, ooh, can you imagine what my life gonna be like if I get this and do it the right way? So y'all gonna face doubters. You gonna hit roadblocks. People are gonna tell you that, girl, this ain't gonna work. You need a license to do that. Guys, we are in 37 states, and I oversee over 400 of these things now. The devil is a liar. Right. And the reason we can do it that way, y'all, is because we're housing people that are independent. That's the whole cheat code to all of this. My people right now on Twitter, Instagram, Clubhouse, wherever you're tuning in from, the biggest cheat code for this model is that there is no license, because the people that we're housing, they're completely independent. And I jokingly always said,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Dennis, that they can cook their own bologna sandwich, they can take their own medications, and they can provide their own transportation through
Yeah.
either Uber, Lyft, or their insurance company.
Come on, Derek.
Really slowly, because I know I talk fast and sometimes I stutter. But guys, these are the three things that get most people in trouble when they're trying to start something like this. They want to drive people around. That's a no-no.
Yeah.
You want to try to feed people? That's a no-no.
It's
And you're also
yeah.
trying to
It's
give
a
medication. I'm not a nurse.
Come on,
I'm not a
Derek.
doctor, and I'm not a CNA.
You don't have CEUs that say that you
And
are
Shay, if I'm
ready to
housing
do
people
it,
that can take their own
you can't do
meds,
it.
cook their own ham sandwich, and get around an Uber or the bus system on their 2 feet, all you guys are offering is the roof over their head and keeping the lights and water on. How many of y'all can do that? Type in the chat, me.
So
Take it over, Shay.
I just want to I want to specify the importance of why we don't provide those services, because once you start teetering into the service provisions, you are now changing the description of independent living facilities and turning it into something completely different, which is a licensed or regulated housing program. And that's not what you want to do in this instance. You want to make sure that you are assessing appropriately, that you are bringing in the right people, setting the correct expectations, letting them know that, hey, this is, a place where you need to know how to live and thrive on your own and do well, right? Some of them may not be 100% able to do significantly well, but they have other resources that are available to them. So now talking about a third party that is able to come into your ILF, right, and be able to provide them with some of those necessary providing them with the necessary things that they need, like medication management, or maybe somebody that just comes to make sure that they've prepared a meal, right? Or come to say, okay, every day I'll be here to help you prepare a meal at specific said time. But that person cognitively is okay. They can actually get up, still do certain things for themselves. It's just the cooking thing, right? Maybe an issue, or, being reminded of their medications, maybe a little bit of a stumbling block. So they have these other providers that come and assist. I've housed the lady for about 2 years. Claudia, Derek, and she had a home health aide that came to the house every day. Let me tell you something. Claudia, fully functioning, could go, like, she would walk every day 2 to 3 miles a day. Nothing was really wrong with her. She did have a mental illness, but there were things provided by her insurance that her daughter made sure that she had access to. Just because she was not living in the home with the daughter put things in position to make sure that she had consistent oversight, even though she was in an ILF. She had weekly, daily oversight of someone that was positioned to be with her. I think it was 3 days a week, I believe it was, where this lady would come in the home, make sure that meals were already prepared and pre-cooked, set up to where all she had to do was go in on the days that this woman was not there, or when she was out, outside of her work hours, and had her meals prepared. So again, there are so many things that are available to the elderly or the aging population that allows them to still reside within independent living. So that's what I wanted to add to that, Derek.
Good stuff, Michelle. I appreciate that. Are you guys enjoying this information? Are you guys learning a lot? Because a lot of you guys may have been just like me, and I specifically want to hear, especially from all the newer people. My old heads, thank y'all for being here. But my newer people, guys, you all are probably just like me. Nobody wanted to share this with me. Nobody wanted to teach it. And I made a promise to God over 7-8 years ago. I said, God, if you let me get into this and quit my job and make that kind of money of what I saw and that kind of impact in people's lives, I said, God, I'll go all over the world teaching this and I'll never take any credit. So watch me do this right now in front of a bunch of people and y'all. Guys, I am a complete nobody. Without God, I'm a nobody. But with God, and because God has blowed on this model and went, guys, this thing is powerful. It can save your community. It can save your family. And again, money follows ministry. Money follows mastery. And we mastered the art of housing people in a shared living environment. So again, if you love God, love people, and love real estate, man, this is it. Show me something else better than other than starting your own church and you grabbing a microphone and go preaching to people. Guys, show me something else better that you can show the love of God, help people, be respected by your community, but also make enough money to feed your family.
Yeah. I think
guys,
that's
like what a mantra or what a thing to live by. Please, God, help people, be respected by the community, but make enough money to feed my family and build the kingdom of heaven, build the kingdom of God. Because somewhere in that good book, y'all, they say that if you put all, now somebody gonna get me for quoting it wrong, but somebody gonna also help me say it. In the Bible, somewhere it said that if you put God's plans before yours, put God's ideas before yours, build the kingdom, it says all of these things that you want will be added unto you. Now, somebody put the correct scripture in the thing, because I'm no pastor, but it said that if I take God's plans, God's ideas, and do God's will, which says take care of the poor, the needy, and the widow, God said it's like you're doing a favor unto me. So I think that's pretty cool that you can get into something to where the blessing of God is already built into it.
Yeah.
Let me ask that question, because I often phrase this as a question. Can you imagine having a job or a business to where the blessing of God was already built into it? Lord have mercy. And I'm talking about the financial blessing. Most of us are begging God to change our life financially. What if he gave you a ministry through this shared housing to where that was already built into it because you're doing what he told you to do, which is take care of the poor, the needy, and the widow? Guys, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. I love y'all questions. Keep the questions coming. We're here for probably another 30 minutes or so. If you're on YouTube and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do that. We come here 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern. I want to give you a word from David and Dennis. And again, take it easy on David. He's a little bit of a knucklehead, but Dennis always guides him back to center. Let's take a look at these two clowns and we'll be right back. So Dennis, in this independent living facility model, right, which y'all call ILFs, what kind of residents can I house in this kind of model? David, that's a great question. And that's actually what makes the ILF model so great, is because it's flexible. So prime example, you can house military veterans, elderly adults, women that are escaping domestic violence, and the list goes on and on and on. So Dennis, where do you get your residents from? I see you guys on TikTok and Facebook, you guys getting all of these houses. Like, where in the world are you getting these people from? Yeah, that's actually pretty easy. Forrester Consultants teaches us to use social media such as Instagram, Facebook, to let people know who we are, what we do, but probably most importantly, who do we serve? And we do that very consistently. So every day, 7 days a week, there's something being posted about what we do and who we serve, but also building relationships with social workers and case managers. Again, letting them know who we are, what we do, and most importantly with them, that we're available.
Dennis, how in the world are you able to do this without a license, bro?
David, remember the reason why we don't need a license, because remember, the clients that we serve, they're independent. So that means that they can take their own medications, they can provide their own transportation, and they can cook and provide their own food. Dennis, man, you seem to know a lot about this independent living stuff, man. How do you know so much? Well, first of all, I graduated from Forrester Consultants University, and I have a master's degree in independent living facilities. And I join the Forrester crew every Monday on YouTube at 6 p.m. Eastern. They go live, and that guy. Hey guys, I stopped that commercial. My team is telling me that they couldn't hear it. So could you guys hear my commercial? Something's going funny with my stuff here. Could you guys hear that at all?
Because if that's, have to just drop off.
If you guys are not hearing it, I'm not going to do that ever again, because I don't want you guys not to be able to hear that and think I'm went blank.
Yeah, it's.
Could you guys hear that, Tiffany and Tia? And maybe because I'm also streaming on Clubhouse through the audio.
I think that's why they were able to hear.
So you guys could hear David and Dennis just now. Yeah, that was weird, because on our end it's playing weird. And I think it's because I'm also we streaming on a lot of different places at once. I'm on all kinds of sites right now. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, I think, Chatter, Clubhouse, and the audio apps, I think, throw it off on my end. But as long as y'all could hear that, and as y'all see, man, David is an absolute hard head guy. But good to see you, Misha. I see you in here.
Hey,
good to see you, Tiffany, Tia. Hey, and again, thank you to all of the new people. Thank you to the 5 families that told me that you guys were new to us, and y'all got several people in front of the TV. I love it that here lately, a lot of you guys are bringing your family into it. I really, really like that. Keep the questions coming. I want to make a comment on this real quick. I'm going to go to Shay and we're going to go back in the chat. Shay?
No, I just want to say, Derek, we've gotten some new people that are joining the event in 2 weeks.
Oh, good stuff. Love that.
So I want to just say hello and look forward to seeing you all here in Orlando, Florida on January the 31st at the Pillars of Prosperity Conference, where we get to bless you all and talk more about this ILF model in conjunction with finances, right? So this event is not
They
all
say
about.
They heard. Oh, I'm sorry, Shay, go ahead.
Sorry, this isn't this. You made me forget my train of thought. Thank you, Derek. This event is not just about finances. It's about how you can position yourself as a entrepreneur when your mindset is focused on how to accurately allocate your funding. When you have that money coming in, how are you stewarding your finances? So this is not just about finances. It's about how we as entrepreneurs get the opportunity to steward well our finances and be able to leave that generational wealth. I will put something up later on in the stream. So people, if they are interested, if they are looking for something to do on Friday, January
it's actually scrolling at the bottom right now. So
they can, but we're going to show them some graphics.
Oh, okay, cool. So just in case if you have no clue what Shay is talking about, we have an event that we're speaking at January 31st in Orlando, Florida. And I'll tell you right now, and I've said this from the last 2 weeks, anybody that purchases, because I see a few of you all that said that you're interested and you're ready to get started with the coaching. Anybody that purchases our coaching from now to I think next Friday, because that's when the last day to purchase a ticket, you come to the event complimentary. So again, you do not buy your ticket if you purchase our one-on-one coaching. Well, that's either the ILF Mastery Blueprint or the ILF Mastery Accelerator. Either one of those packages, if you purchase that between now and next Friday, you come see us for free. Yes. Your ticket, your lunch, your meal, all that's on me. Now, you got to pay for your hotel room. Right. But your meal and your admission to this event is absolutely on us. You guys are to visit popclive.com. No, that's not your uncle or your grandfather, but it stands for Pillars of Prosperity Conference Live. Yeah. So that's POPCLIVE.com. I'm also scrolling that below on the screen. Again, if you guys know anything about the founder and thought leader, Don Daniel of the Pill Method International, that's really what this whole event is about, is eliminating debt, crushing interest cost, all of that stuff to get you financially free, debt free. And then Shay and I, my family, we're going to pour the sauce on how can you make a bunch of money and be the impact in your community through shared housing. Absolutely. So Dawn going to teach you how to save some money, how to use your money the wise way. But I want to talk about how can we get your money up by doing God's will, God's way through the game of real estate and shared housing. So we're going to mesh all of that together. So we encourage anybody, again, visit popclive.com. And again, if you purchase one of the coaching packages, you come to the event complimentary on me. Does that make sense, everybody? All right. And for the people that put in the chat, how do I get started? Most people get started by either joining us on YouTube, by hearing or seeing this, but watching our introductory webinar. I'm going to put that back on the screen as well. That's usually the first step. So let me find that. You're going to text the phrase more info to phone number 407-326-0086. And as soon as I find it, I'll put it on screen for you guys. Just give me a second. 407, there it is right there, scrolling at the bottom. So if you want more of a chronological order of what this is, how to do it step by step, make sure you watch the webinar. I tend to treat you guys more so like family and just answer a bunch of questions here. And we do kind of bounce around a lot. But if you say, Derek, man, I'm more of a chronological person, like give me step by step, please watch that webinar. Mm-hmm. And what's so cool about it, my team will see the analytics of how much you've watched it. And as long as you've watched it, they're going to send you a link to book a call with me and Shay to talk about how fast can we get you started in your city. So that's the steps to getting started. Now, if you're anything like the last 2 or 3 people that joined us, they didn't need any of that stuff. They just went to forsterconsultants.com/products and services, and they bought the ILF Mastery Blueprint, and they talked to me later. So if you're somebody that's like that and you know you want it in terms of what you heard already, by all means, go to forsterconsultants.com/products and services. And that's where you'll see all 3 coaching plans. And I'm going to bring those up tonight, today as well. So we have the ILF Mastery Blueprint, that's one-on-one coaching, that's $7,500. The ILF Accelerator, that's a 6-month program that mimics the blueprint, but it's only for 6 months. That's only $3,000. And then we have the do-it-yourself version, the ILF Mastery DIY. That was only $997. In all plans, we build your website, your CRM system. We give you a phone system, right, to where all your social media is in one place. So we give you guys the digital platform because guess why? We own the digital marketing company. So we use digitalflowsolutions.net for all 8 of our businesses so that when we coach and teach you all, we give y'all website, CRM, phone system. We give you everything that you need. So all the paperwork, all the documents, everything that you need to run this program, we give it to you all. So yeah, anything about coaching, how it works, also bring that stuff up. I even got a slide that's specifically for our coaching, even right here. I'll go through this really quickly and I'll get back to the questions. But the ILF Mastery Blueprint, guys, is what most people want from us. They want me to hold their hand. They want my personal phone number. They want me in their back pocket forever. That's what the ILF Mastery Blueprint is. And every coaching package that we'll talk about today, y'all, is actually got the opportunity to have a scholarship applied to it. So I've seen 2 or 3 of you all already text that word scholarship. That'll actually kind of knock off some of the price for you.
Yep.
And it's a discount. That scholarship, by you texting that, leads to a phone call with me. One of the steps is watching that webinar first, though, so that when we do get on the call, you already kind of know a lot of it. So you can ask me different stuff versus just what you would have found out in the video.
Correct.
So again, the ILF Mastery Blueprint, $7,500. There's a scholarship that can help knock the price down if need be. The ILF Accelerator is only $3,000. That's a 6-month program that's similar to that one, but it's only 6 months long. And then the IMB, you do it at your own pace. And there's a lot of videos of me teaching in that one. That one's not one-on-one, but we still give you all the paperwork, all the documents, and we still build your website and the CRM system and the phone and all of that stuff. And guys, that one's only $997. And right here just breaks it down again on price, what they're called. And right here again, kind of just what's involved in it. You guys can take screenshots of that. But again, the easiest way to even get on the phone with me is watching that webinar. That instruction is scrolling below right now. Text more info to that phone number. That's going to give you our webinar. After you finish it, set up a call with me and my team so that this year you can possibly quit your job and do something more meaningful. Okay? Accelerated $3,000. Same program, guys. 6 months though. I only recommend this to people that have property already. And you've been around me for a while already. You already kind of get what this is. And you just want to hit the ground running, right? But do not get this one if you don't have a property and you haven't been around me for 6 months. Right. This one will be a waste of your time. And then this one is the do-it-yourself. Guys, take your time with it. And we give you all the paperwork, all the documents. We still build your website. And there's tons of coaching inside of it. Prime example, we had this course called MSI, stood for Move at the Speed of Instruction. That course alone, y'all, was $4,500. We put that inside of here. So that's 5 weeks of me coaching that you get in the DIY for only $997. So to me, that's a no-brainer. And also all packages have all my ebooks, all my courses, all my books, all the curriculum, all 3 of those. Okay. That's the coaching.
And just for memory, don't make me mess this up. That asked where can they purchase tickets for the event, go to www.popclive.com, popclive.com.
Yep.
So I'm
and she also put that person put how do I get started? So now if you want to get started with what we're talking about, definitely follow the instruction that I gave. The Pop Clive is that if you want to come to the event January 31st,
correct.
But also don't forget, if you purchase any of those packages, those first 2, I'm letting you come to the event complimentary. That's on me. So that's my treat. Okay. So there's a few of you all that are asking about this. So make sure that you, first of all, have watched that webinar and let's get on my schedule next week. Like this can happen next week. Yeah. Right. Or I never take calls on Saturdays, but if you're somebody that says, well, Derek, I heard enough, bro. I'll get started today if we can have a call today. Guys, we can even talk today. Right. And I usually do that for people that move at the speed of instruction. So if you're somebody that knows this is what you want and you've been around us already, I don't have to convince you of what this is, because right now the cheat code to everything that I just told y'all, no license required. You don't have to own the property.
Right.
And I'm going to hold your hand the entire way. And we're in 37 states in terms of the coaching with over 400 ILFs. So the guidance is absolutely there. If you got the will, we got the way. And God's behind it, right? God is all over this housing model, y'all, because he loves us and God crazy about me. Don't be jealous, but God is crazy about me. And everything that we put our hands on, he blesses it. And when people follow suit, like Tiffany, the Tias, all the people that are in this room, they're also blessed. Okay. So again, we appreciate you guys being here. I got a few more things that I want to show, but I want to make sure that I answer questions from the chat. So I won't go any further with my stuff unless I know that Shay tells me that we're good in the chat.
Give me a second because I'm actually working on something else.
All right. So I'll take a look.
One question. What is the expected time frame to have a successful independent living facility up and running with a person taking advantage of your amazing consultation packages?
So that can vary by the person. And obviously everybody's grind mode is different. And I answer this question probably the same way every time. Depends on what your grind is, Sky. The only thing that I can't guarantee in this coaching is what you will do. I can guarantee me, my products, my coaching, my paperwork. Our paperwork alone cost us $8,000 to just build the paperwork that we give y'all. And notice no package is over $8,000. So right there is a cheat code by itself. But yeah, the only thing that I can't guarantee is what you will put into it. But what we've seen is most people that get into this and that are serious about it, within 3 months, they're up and running, whether they have a house or not. Now, some people that have a house, it just happens faster because they have a house already, right? But if you're coming to us, what I would call on a blank slate, no social media, no website, no LLC, no business, nobody knows you today, give yourself 3 to 4 months to be up and running and everybody to know who you are. And again, just depending on how fast you grind, you could be like a lady that met us on a Monday, and 9 days later, she had a house and 4 clients in it. And had no clue what this was before she found me on YouTube. Yeah. She's one of our biggest success stories, but I quickly tell people that's not normal. She was a bulldog though. Like she followed every instruction and she hit the ground running every day, 7 days a week. So for her, like she called it easy. And I got a lot of stories that people do this under 30 days, under 20 days, lots of those stories, but I never give the expectation of that. Notice I told you 3 to 4 months. Yeah. Somebody hearing this right now and saying, wow, dude, 3 to 4 months, bro? Like it take that long? Yeah, man. You never built a business before. Apparently, businesses take time to run, take time to operate, take time to be successful.
You've got to be.
You can't meet me today, start a business next week and be great in your city by next month.
It don't work.
Guys, I've been doing this for 9 years now.
And still making new relationships.
And still making new relationships.
New relationships. New,
so yeah,
new
long
resources.
You got patience, man.
You've got to be consistent too. Nothing that you do in this is you do it once and it just catches fire, right? It doesn't work like this. It doesn't work like that. You've got to show your consistency, because a lot of people in your community, when it comes to housing, when it comes to, providing resources to the less fortunate, they're going to take their time and vet you. And it may be, they may see you functioning for 6 months before they even pick up the phone to call you, because they want to see if if this is just a quick, a hot flash that you're having and you just want to, experience it for 5 months and be gone, or, they want to see your longevity. They want to trust and try you. They want to see that you are tried and approved. So just keep that as a mental note, that a lot of times, your first reach to someone may not be, it may be successful, but you will never know it. They may never respond, but they'll put you on the back burner and see, right? Or they'll share your information with another organization and see how you handle them first. So it's a lot of things that you'll encounter once you come into this space. And again, it's going to be up to you. It's going to be your endurance. How long are you willing to, how long are you willing to put in the work until you fill that house? It may not take a day. It may not take a month. It may not take 3 months. It may take 6. What does that look like for you, right? And
Katara, shout me out in the chat right now, please.
Yeah, because
let me give Sky an example of what patience looks like.
Perfect.
And I'm gonna give it back to Shay. Just shout me out, Katara, if you're here, and I'm going right back to Shay because I'll let Shay gear this whole thing up.
Right.
Katara, now, if you're not here, we'll keep going. But Katara,
Just
if
go
you're
ahead
here,
and share her story.
shout me out in the chat because I want you to say, hey, I'm here. Because I want Scott to look at the name while I'm talking. And if Katara's not here, I'll just go.
I don't think
but
I've
I
seen
always give the example of Katara Johnson. She's usually always here. She's a great example of like, Katara sat around us for a long time before getting her first place. But what I often told people what was the cheat code for her and why God blessed it, in my opinion, is because Katara always congratulated other people when they launched. We do a big thing here in this room that when we know somebody has launched under us, we shout them out, we'll blow horns and clapping and all that stuff and chime bells and all of that. Katara was somebody that always congratulated other people.
She celebrated.
She never gave up. She never gave up. She never made excuses and she never gave up. Oh, and by the way, she never gave up. And I wish she was here to put in the chat herself. How long did it take her to get her first place after meeting us from day one? Guys, it wasn't that easy. And now today, she getting houses so fast, she can hardly tolerate it. And all these houses are coming from the proof of concept and from relationship. And it's exactly what I teach y'all. Katara is also another great example of people that follow everything that I say. She's not afraid to talk to people. She's not afraid to put herself out at conferences. And she's not afraid to buy the coaching. Some people, and I got a whole little spiel on this that I'm gonna do Monday night, but some of you guys are afraid to invest in yourself. I was talking to a family the other day and told them that, man, I spend a lot of money, y'all, on coaching, teaching, and pouring into myself. And a lot of it's also free. That's why I teach for free here. Guys, I got coaches today that don't even know me. They'll never meet me. They'll never know I'm a student. But I look up to them as a leader in terms of what I'm trying to learn. Now, theoretically, I got about 7 coaches. 3 of my coaches don't even know me. Let me say that one more time because that's going to slip by somebody. Guys, I got 7 people that I get coaching from and look up to that make me who I am. Guys, probably 4 of those, and there's Katara. Probably 4 of those people don't even know me. But the other ones, I spend a lot of money. And that's why, guys, God first, great coaching, softwares and systems. That's why we're so great. Not because Derek is so special. God just went, Derek, it's your turn. God blew on this thing, y'all. And everybody that gets attached to it, you guys also reap the benefit from it. And again, this isn't rocket science. These are not group homes. These are not ILFs. These are just regular residential facilities, houses that we rent or we lease. Now, if you can buy it, God bless you. And we build relationships with social workers and case managers. As I bring this slide up, Katara, can you put in the chat, she's in and out doing intakes. Ooh, do you know what that means, Sky?
Let's go.
That means that one day, Sky, she was just like you, listening in YouTube, saying, man, I want to do that. This Derek guy seemed pretty cool. Him and his family. Let me go to his event. Let me take his coaching. Let me get in his masterclass. Guys, Katara is one of those people that's almost taken everything that we've ever given. Now, we did give her a hard time because she did not make our June event, and we picked on her about that. But jokingly, because she's family now, Katara never has to come to any other events I ever have. Why? Because she took the coaching. I'm her big brother now, and she's got my personal phone number. If she never came to another conference, another show, or came to this YouTube, she can access me 7 days a week, pretty much. Yep. Okay? So again, Katara is the greatest example, and she just put 2 years in the chat. From the day she met me to today, where she getting properties so fast, she's having to turn down some people and say, hey, man, not right now. Let me fill this house first, and we'll take that one in about a month from now.
Yes, sir.
Katara could only dream of most of the stuff that I ever told her, Sky. I told Katara a lot of stuff that she only could dream of. And today, Katara from Lying, please call me a liar in the chat. Katara, you're living that stuff now. Being the go-to person in your community. I'm going to let Katara talk to you herself in the chat. Katara, give Sky your story. On this screen, guys, remember what the title is today. Are ILFs the future of social housing? Because it's getting so expensive to live anywhere. God, this is my first ILF right here. And that promise that I told you, God, if you let me get into this, I'll go all over the world and I'll never take any credit. So what we stand for at Forte Consultants is enriching the lives of other people through knowledge and opportunities. Guys, we gave the knowledge today, and we're also giving you the opportunity to get in through it through our coaching. If you're looking for coaching, guys, I highly recommend that you go to forstonconsultants.com/products and services. Or if you just go to forstonconsultants.com, click the tab that says products and services. This slide shows the proof of why you need to do that. Because we've showed the proof of concept. Guys, I know what I'm doing now. In the beginning, the first 2 years, not so. I made a lot of mistakes. I ran into a $40,000 lawsuit that I put in the ebook that I give you in this course. Does that make sense, y'all? So my job is to make sure that you guys don't make the same stupid mistakes I made, because there was nobody that said, Derek, I'll teach you, bro. Nobody said, me, Derek, I'll teach you. Y'all. They said, Derek, we'll never teach you, bro. You keep being the dadgum social worker and sending these people, Derek, and let us get rich. So for some of y'all, you got to say, man, when is enough enough? So today, all I'm asking is for somebody just to simply to make a decision that this is something that you really want to do. Yeah. And again, guys, it's not rocket science. We're going to rent a house. We're going to connect with social workers and case managers. And guys, I got tons of coaching that's free on my YouTube channel. How you do that? Today, I just gave a lot of inspiration and talked from different angles. And I answered that one question from the Jones family, because you guys were the whole reason why I created the title, Are ILFs the Future of Social Housing?
Yep.
I dare any of you all to do any research in your area to see how expensive a one-bedroom apartment is now in your area. A one-bedroom studio.
Talk about extended stays.
Talk about that, Shay. Go ahead.
Listen, an extended stay in the Orlando area is ranging at about $1,150 to $1,200 a month. Okay, with weekly rates as low as $365 a week. So if you do the math on that with someone that's living off of a fixed income, again, they're priced out of the market. So you've got to be able to understand what's going on around you by doing your market research. And this is some of the market research we're going to implore you to do. Find out, like Derek said, see what's the lowest costing rental. Drive by it, see what it looks like. I can guarantee you it's deplorable conditions. It's not the greatest. And you will see the difference in why people will choose to live in the shared housing model over, fending for themselves in, the most affordable housing available in your city. Especially if you provide them with something that is clean, nice, in a good or decent area, you become the go-to person for that individual. So do your market research and then, let us help you in that process. So
absolutely.
Back to you, Derek.
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually close down Clubhouse. So if you guys are in Clubhouse, go ahead and migrate over, because we're about 8 minutes short of closing anyway. I got about 3 more questions that I will answer. But if you're in Clubhouse right now, thank you all so much, first of all, for being here. We appreciate that. And you guys' title actually was a little bit different today. Your title says shared housing, the best real estate strategy, ? So is it? So if you're in Clubhouse right now and you appreciated this, just put something in the chat. I would appreciate that myself. But also come on over to YouTube, subscribe there at Forston Consultants. We also put the link up top. So the Campbell family, I see that you guys just joined, the Bass family, the Montoya family. You guys were here the whole time in Clubhouse. We're getting ready to end Clubhouse in about 45 seconds. So go ahead and click that link at the top. And we're going to finish at the YouTube channel. So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And Camille, good to see you. You're always in YouTube. What are you doing over here today?
Right.
Good to see you, Camille. We'll see you guys on YouTube, and we're in it right now. Okay. So Clubhouse is going. Because I want to say some things to you guys as from a family standpoint that I kind of keep off of other places. So, Shay, do you have anything else that you want to bless the people with or even talk about before we end it?
No, I'm actually good.
Okay.
I am really good. I think today's information was super, super, super amazing. But I am going to leave y'all because I have to prepare for the Pillars of Prosperity conference. So that's why y'all see my attention over here. I've got some automations going in the background.
Give that info again just before you go, especially the info about I'm treating them if they buy a package.
I do. Okay, give me 1 second because I want to pull up a visual so they can see it. And then I also want to share about the shirts before I dip out.
And then you guys are also just seeing a teaser on stage of what I'm going to finish up with. So you guys have been hearing us talk about this whole affordable housing and social housing. We're now expanding this now, guys, into the mobile home parks. So if you want to hear a little bit about that, make sure you stay for a little bit, but also come January 31st to Orlando, Florida by visiting popclive.com. I'm also going to unveil some things there as well. Ms. Shay, on you.
I'm actually going to share a graphic so that they can see how they can join the event.
And in fact, Shay, as you're pulling that up, let's go to a commercial really quick because I haven't went to another one yet, and I don't want to get in no trouble because they told me that they could hear it. So I'm going to go to commercial and come right back. If you've ever imagined of starting your own housing program, there is no reason that after we're done here tonight that you shouldn't go to forstonconsultants.com/webinars and watch the webinar, guys, because a lot of you have wanted to start a group home or traditional assisted living facility, but that stuff takes license. It takes a lot of time to open. There's a lot of red tape to jump through. You have to ask for permission. We teach you guys how to open an ILF, an independent living facility, where you can house the homeless, displaced adults, or anybody that has a guaranteed income, and it doesn't require a license, and you don't have to own the property. Make sure you watch that free webinar at forstonconsultants.com/webinars, and then set up a free strategy call so that me and my team can get you started. Let's get back to the show. All right, Ms. Shay, back on you.
So here we go. So I want y'all to be able to see.
I'm going to move this so that you do your thing.
So the Pillars of Prosperity Conference will be held here on January 31st, which is a Friday. It will start registration starts at 9:30 a.m. We'll, with that other 30 minutes as we're, getting people in, will be just an opportunity for you all to meet and greet with one another, learn who's in the room with you, right? And then we will promptly start at 10 a.m. This is an all-day event. Listen, it will shut down at 4. Meal options. Amazing. I'm so excited. That just went out today. So those of you that will be in attendance, you should have just received a text from me not too long ago telling you to select your meal. That is between
chicken, steak, or salmon.
Come on, chicken, steak, or salmon. Make your decision.
No bag lunches over here, guys. So if you thought you was going to get a sandwich in a plastic bag, that is not what we do.
No bag lunches.
5-star only with Forston Consultants.
We only provide the best.
Yep. No plasticware. Not your fork, your knife, or your spoon, or your cup. All glassware.
Come on, sir. But yes,
sir.
So we introduce you and really would love for you to join us here in Orlando. You can do so by texting the phrase pill to the phone number 256-215-9496, or you can visit the website at popclive.com. Join us, come meet us in person. We'll love to see you all. For those that have signed up, go ahead and check your emails because so much information has been delivered through email. Rooms that have been discounted rates that you can just click a link and go ahead and book. Check your junk just in case to make sure that you are receiving the information that is coming from info at thepillmethodinternational.com or thepillmethod.com. So that is a little bit about that. And then the one other thing that I wanted to share before I left, Derek, is my new project for the Angela Denise Foundation and give you all an opportunity to get your shirts. Let me get the information.
And also, Shay, as you're putting that up, I want to make this a little bit bigger than you just showing your shirts. Guys, this is something else that you can do once you've mastered the art of housing people. Look how Shay turned this opportunity to continue to be a blessing, but she can also make an income from it.
Yeah.
So we also talk about that because, guys, remember, we're business coaches. So Shay has mastered the art of housing people. So now she's got this t-shirt line. See how we just keep adding things? That's why Shay and I have multiple businesses.
Yep.
Not because we're just so great. Forget about that. It's just that when you master this one thing, what's next? Let's move on to something else.
Exactly.
That may also make an impact, but also can create income for you and your family. Guys, if you ain't noticed yet, the whole thing that we're about, love of God, love for people, and I want y'all to feed y'all family by making a bunch of money and being the impact in your community through whatever means that you choose, whether it's housing, this t-shirt line that Shay is talking about, your food pantry, your clothing closet, and none of this stuff costs you guys money. All of this can be done for free.
Yeah.
So that's the other part. Shay?
So here you go, guys. Here is the by faith line. This is walk by faith. So you'll see here that this design is truly.
Yeah, we got models. Stop hating.
I'm actually going to see if I can expand it some so you all can truly see the image of the shirt. It says walk by faith, and it is based on 2 Corinthians 5:7. So you can definitely order your shirt by texting the word shirt to 407. Oh, I never hit send. Here we go. So that you all have it in the chat. So you can text the word shirt to 407-934-0467 and be a part of the early release, where you will gather some information about it. What size you're looking for, what style are you looking for? A t-shirt? Are you looking for a hoodie? Are you looking for just a regular collared sweatshirt? So this is one of the designs, and if you're interested, you can go ahead and text the number that is on the screen. I do have.
And if you missed us last Tuesday, you guys should go back and check that out. Shay literally on the spot created a AI bot, an assistant, to answer the phone for the t-shirt business. Yeah. So if you guys missed Tuesday night, we do a lot of digital marketing type coaching there. We introduce our digital marketing platform that we use, and we just continue to teach business. Shay showed on Tuesday how you can use an AI assistant that if you're at work or if you're busy, somebody can still answer your phone 365 days a year, 7 days a week. And it's an AI bot. Shay built it on the spot, and it was for her t-shirt store, that it answered questions about the t-shirt, the cost, what went behind the meaning of this faith brand, all of that stuff.
So this is another style that will be in this faith brand.
I wore this one yesterday. I had the sweatshirt of this one yesterday.
Fully anchored in the Holy Spirit. And it has a scripture reference as well. So you'll be able to see a lot of this stuff in the upcoming days on the website. But if you go ahead and text the phrase shirt to 407-934-0467 and fill out that form for us, we'll be gathering your information and providing you with all of the details of all of the designs that are coming out. I do have one more, Derek.
That would be cool. Like, even if they typed it, they actually get those pictures to see the shirt.
I know.
That would be cool too.
We're actually in the process of getting that kind of sorted out. But that's on my team and not me, because y'all don't want me to do that. I'll make a mess of it. And here is the last one, because it is another part of the Faith brand, and it is the same design, but with a different, not a video. I'm trying to share a video that I don't have. Here we go. So here you go. And this one says, faithfully applying instruction through his word. And it's standing on Psalms 119, 105. So the Faith brand is truly, just who we are, what we believe in, and how we move in faith, right? Everything that we do is geared by, being attached to God through faith. So again, we want you to be a part of this amazing journey with us. Every shirt or hoodie or whatever you purchase goes directly back into the Angela Denise Foundation to help fund one of our upcoming programs for 2025. And we just look forward to seeing you posting some pictures in your new faith merch. So that's what I got, Derek.
All right, good stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is Shay, and she is out. Shay, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Absolutely. That is my better half, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, Shay used to work corporate America for all of our new folks. I snatched her from corporate America when God made me really busy with my housing program, and she's been an absolute blessing. And from that day, literally, when she came home crying and upset and was like, what am I going to do now? We literally built the Angela Denise Foundation at my kitchen table. So we jokingly talk about whenever we decide to donate that table, we're going to sign the bottom of it and write on it. So no matter where that table goes, that table is going to go somewhere where that vision of the Angela Denise Foundation will always be around. So that'll probably be a table we'll never get rid of, right? It'll end up at an ILF. We'll keep refurbishing it for years and years and years and painting it. But if that table is where the thought came from, and just let me be an encouragement to you all. A lot of you guys want to leave your job, right? In fact, put a number 7 in the chat if you desire to leave your job this year, right? And what I mean by that, leaving the right way, not quit. There's a such thing as a resign and giving people notice, because we will leave the right way, right? So if you're somebody that was like me, in fact, I'll be first. Many years ago, I dreamed of leaving that job to make a bigger impact, to do what this was. So y'all join me in the chat. Am I the only one that ever dreamed of leaving a job to do what God has really put on my heart to do? So put in the chat if you guys got jobs, and there's nothing wrong with you having a job, because my brother was somebody that believed in keeping both of them. Not me, Andrea. Andrea, once I got 3 of these houses, I was like, man, I'm gone. See y'all later. Like, I don't need this anymore. Like, I can create a bigger impact in the community if I do this on my own now and not tied to a 9-to-5 job, taking 8 to 10 hours a day away from my life. So let that be an encouragement to you all as well. Just really quickly, I won't spend a lot of time here. I'm going to talk probably further about this at the conference in on the 31st. So again, if you haven't booked that ticket, make sure you do that, because you're going to get a treat. You're going to hear us and you're going to get that game from Dunn, right? And again, I think they talked about Tuesday that if you combine Dunn's knowledge in terms of what he charges for his thing and what we charge for our coaching, and in fact, y'all going to get all that in one day, that was over like $15,000 in value that you guys are going to get. And remember, if you purchase one of our coaching packages, I'm actually allowing you guys to come to the conference for free. So if you purchase the ILF Mastery Blueprint or the Accelerator between now and next Friday, you come to the Orlando event absolutely complimentary on me. Just let me know if you want chicken, salmon, or you want that steak. I think it's a New York strip. Okay. So other than that, I want to jump into this real quick and then I'm going to let you guys go. So right here is something new that we're bringing to this whole ILF game. We've never done these inside of mobile homes that were inside of parks. I only gave the advice to do this if you were in a mobile home that was on its own land. Today, guys, this is different. We're now building relationships inside of mobile home parks that are going to allow us to come in and buy either the vacant or abandoned mobile homes, or one that looks like this that they'll give you for free. And all you got to do is put $2 or $3 grand in it to make it livable. And now you got yourself an ILF all over again. And again, guys, if you're new to us, trust me, you're coming in on something new. We've never done these inside of mobile home parks. Oh, but now we are now going to be doing this inside of parks now. So please follow my Instagram and Facebook at Forster Consultants. Become my friend on Facebook at Derek Forston. And make sure you stalk me on TikTok. Right? So Derek Forston on TikTok, because I show a lot of these things of what we're doing and how I'm building relationships. I even showed you guys of me walking inside of the VA, right? Literally, again, just showing people that I don't need an appointment to show up. I'm just going to come with my flyers and drop them right on that resource table. So again, now we're doing this inside of the mobile home parks, which is going to make this more affordable for a lot of people to get into. Which leads me back to the question that the Taylor family asked. Derek, what makes this a no-brainer in your opinion? No license is required, guys. For a group home, for an ALF, for an APD, for an IDD, a lot of your traditional group homes that are state mandated and seen by oversight, guys, that requires a license. Permission from your city, your state, your county, sprinkler systems, alarm systems. Guys, I don't need any of that stuff. I need a big heart for God and people. And if I love real estate, ding, 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 ding. Because the goal is that maybe we start out renting, but the real goal is to buy eventually. And that's how we bought property, guys, because we rented for so long. The next is because there's no medical oversight, no DCF, no ACA, none of those agencies in your city, Department of Children and Family, none of that stuff. No certifications required. And you can lease or rent the property to get started. Make sense, everybody? And then again, the populations that you can serve inside of these mobile homes. Again, look at these mobile homes, guys. Go look at my page of mobile homes that I've been selling and seeing for $5 grand, $8 grand, $2 grand. And some parks are given to you for free because they want you to fix them up so that they can collect lot rent. Mobile home parks are more interested, guys, in collecting lot rent. So if you build a relationship to where they got these abandoned buildings and you fix them up and rent them out and get that lot rent for them, that's a relationship, ladies and gentlemen. You can also fix and flip these mobile homes. You can also wholesale them. So whatever your game is, guys, open your mind now to think about doing this now inside of mobile home parks. That's my only spiel that I'm going to give on that. I'm going to go back to this and I'm going to get ready to close. Elderly adults, military veterans, teenagers aging from the foster care system, women that are going through or escaping domestic violence, the working individual. So again, guys, these are just a few populations that we talk about. But think of it this way. Anybody that has a guaranteed income, that doesn't mind living in a shared living environment, and they can also follow rules and structure. The Roundtree family, you guys were asking about how do we get paid? SSI and SSDI. Social Security income that's guaranteed. So meaning 90 to 95% of my residents, I don't depend on them to wake up in the morning and go to work and work 40 hours a week. Most of my guys get a check, as they would call it. But it's on a debit card that they get every month, guys, without fail, and nothing stops it. So again, Social Security income, and it's called SSI or SSDI. You guys ask that, Derek, how are you getting paid if they're homeless? Guys, what I also didn't know, even as a social worker, that just because they're homeless doesn't mean that they don't have any money. They just don't have enough money to go and rent that apartment. They can't pass a background check. They don't have 3 times the rental rate. So this is why we're needed. So hopefully that makes sense. I got a video that I promised to show this family if they came in. Y'all give me a little grace because y'all know I'm not very techie. So I'm going to try to share my screen. And I want to pull this up. And this is in Arizona. Immediately in the chat, you guys let me know if you guys can see this or not. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to play this right now.
95, the percentage of Americans experiencing homelessness has increased by nearly 20% this year.
And that's according to a new federal report that was out today. Fox 10's Nicole Christine joins us live now with some data from the Grand Canyon State. Nicole.
Well, hey, Mark and Christina, we talked about this during the 4 o'clock hour. There are many factors that go into how someone may end up experiencing homelessness. Could be mental health issues, addiction, a medical emergency, or the same inflation that all of us are fighting right now. But those who work closely with people experiencing homelessness say this issue isn't going anywhere until the larger community starts to pay more attention and really just wants to help out with those in need.
These statistics that are coming out are surprising.
A federal report out today shows an 18% increase in Americans experiencing homelessness. In Arizona, there are more than 14,000 people experiencing homelessness this year, a 3.5% increase from 2023.
All right, so let's see if I did that right. Could you guys see that? Was that loud and clear? I think Tia said yes. So that family that asked that question, that's the area in which you guys live in. So a lot of times, that's why I like to show the videos when you guys ask questions and you tell me where you're from. I want to show you in your city because I can talk about where I live and other places all the time. But how great is it that I can pull a statistic or show you something that's right in the city or the town that you live in? And you guys could see that and hear that, correct? I just want to make sure that I did it right. Tia says loud and clear. I want to make sure she was referring to that. So give me one more person if you guys can hear that, because I'm actually going to play another one. And these are really short, but same kind of question coming from another family. Watch this. Here we go again. Let me see.
Homelessness is now a public health emergency in Pittsburgh. City Council green-lighted legislation asking that the mayor, the city housing authority, and other departments to find long and short-term solutions to the ongoing problem. Council asked for the proposals to be submitted within 2 weeks. Data from the Department of Human Services found that there were 880 people experiencing homelessness in Allegheny County last winter.
So again, you guys that asked that question, you guys were from that Pennsylvania area, that Pittsburgh area. And notice the verbiage that that lady used. They consider that as a crisis, as a health crisis. Can you imagine, guys? I'm in Florida. Can 3 of y'all put in the chat how cold it is today where you live at? You know, we laugh and we joke and we play all the time, but guys, it's cold outside. So for the Simon family, when you guys ask, well, Derek, when is the best time to start one of these programs? Right now. Because no matter where you live at, guys, it's cold outside. Can you imagine being the answer to somebody that can't afford an apartment or their own house, but they don't mind being in the shared living environment of your place? And you just now open up your home, your space to this individual. And remember, guys, I'm not a pastor or a priest, but boy, God would really love it if y'all would get into this. Because remember, not that Derek said it, but the Bible says that the poor and needy will always be among us. The Bible says that when you do unto the least of thee, it's like he's doing it unto me. And again, can you imagine doing God a favor? Sky, you right there in Daytona and it's still 65 degrees today. Now, Sky, I'm in Orlando. So a lot of people will laugh at me and you when we talk about 60 and 55 degrees because they live in places where it's much colder. If I ask Tiffany right now how cold it is where she is, it may shock us. If I ask Dornico where he is, it may shock us. Katara, I don't know what the weather's like today in South Carolina, but I know some of y'all are in some places. Well, man, you can't stand to go outside right now for more than 5 seconds without needing to go back inside to get in front of the heater. Andrea said 45. Andrea, can you imagine? Andrea, I don't know you, but I'm going to imagine God has blessed you where you live in a house today. Now, if I'm wrong about that, God forgive me. But Miss Power, I'm assume, and I shouldn't do that, but I'm assume you live in a house today. You probably got your heater on or it's comfortable enough for you to be in it. But ladies and gentlemen, think about the guy right now that's living outside and he actually got the $800 a month to give you. He just don't know that it's an option to live in your place. He think he need an apartment. He think he need a house. He has no clue because you're not on social media because that same homeless guy, guess what? He got a cell phone, y'all. He right by the store by McDonald's that giving free Wi-Fi. He didn't see your TikTok ad. He didn't see your Instagram post. He didn't see your Facebook ad and say, hey, we got affordable housing. We're only $740 per bed. We take care of the lights, the water, the cable, and the Wi-Fi. Guys, that's what I do. I'm a one-stop shop to most people. Andrea said, yes, it is. We'll be on Tuesday. Now, what did you say about that, Andrea? We'll be on Tuesday? She was referring to something I was probably saying. And it's cold. Like, Miss Powell, like, where are you tuning in from where it's 45 today? Where are you tuning in from? Let me know in the chat. Where are you tuning in from? Charmaine is in 35. Charmaine is in Canton, Ohio. See what I mean? Imagine your grandmother living where Charmaine does, and you don't know a Charmaine to say, Charmaine, man, my grandmother can't afford an apartment. Charmaine, I know you do that affordable housing. Can my grandmother get somewhere to live in your place? And Charmaine, she can afford $700. Now watch this. Charmaine, I don't even know your pricing, but Charmaine, can somebody live in your place right now for $700 per month, Charmaine? And you take care of the lights, the water, the cable, and Wi-Fi, Charmaine? And if not, just tell me what your price is. I just want to give people an example. Charmaine said it's 35 degrees where she lived at in Canton, Ohio. Charmaine, I'm going to imagine you looking at snow right now outside your window. If I'm wrong, you'll tell me. But can you imagine? And look what Charmaine put. Yep, they sure can. You know how many people got $700 right now but have no clue about Charmaine and her program? So that's all I teach you all. That marketing piece is so important because if don't nobody know you, how do you serve the people? I don't care if you fry the best fried chicken. If you don't advertise it and nobody don't know you fry the best chicken, how do they know to come and get it from you? If you serve the best chocolate chip cookies and hot cocoa during the winter, but nobody know about it, you just sit on a bunch of cookies and cocoa. You're going to get fat eating all that stuff yourself. Make sense, everybody? That's why the marketing part of our coaching is so important and so vital. That's why we build your website. We build your CRM. We make sure you have a phone system, text messaging system, email system, and all your social media in one place. That's why we use Digital Flow Solutions. She said, yes, I am cold and icy. That's what I'm saying, y'all. I should have pulled Charmaine on this live today and say, Charmaine, can you just show the people a screenshot of what they're looking at? Or the kind of people that are living outside right now when the shelter's full. That's why you got to partner with your local shelter. Because when they get full or don't accept certain people, they may be able to call you if the guy got the income to move in. Okay, so I just shared a lot of my heart today. I answered a lot of questions that came through in the chat. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for being here. As I said, we're here every Monday and Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and we're here every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern. All the people that put in the chat that you're ready to get started, let's go. Make sure you watch that webinar. Scrolling below on the screen right now is an instruction. If you just text the phrase more info to that phone number, it'll literally give you our webinar in 2 seconds. You watch that webinar, my team is going to see it. You're going to get a link to schedule a call with me. Now, that's only if you just want to get started. Now, if you just got general questions and you say, that ain't really what I want, then come here and ask those questions because I want everybody else to hear it and we can learn together. But if you say, no, Derek, I want this coaching you talking about, how much of a discount can I get if I text that word scholarship? So again, if you text the word scholarship, that can help with the price. And it's different for everybody at around different times. You just never know what it could be, right? For everybody, we give $500 just for a Google review. Like if we've ever served you, if you've appreciated our information, if we ever had a call, we just require a Google review just for to save $500 by itself. And most people give us a Google review for free, but we still offer it just as an incentive as part of the scholarship. And there's another one that can go towards it. So again, if you want our coaching, make sure you watch that. But more importantly, text the phrase more info to that number, but also text the phrase scholarship. So if you want that, text the word scholarship. Let's get on the phone with my team. As long as you've watched that webinar, we're going to answer all your questions you have, and we're going to let you know how much of a discount you can get that day. Okay? Other than that, guys, I think that's it. I'm going to look at the chat just one more time. I think I got them all. Sky, we appreciate you. Andrea, we appreciate you. All of the newer people, those 5 families that have multiple people in your living room, we appreciate you. The Taylor family, Amina, we appreciate you. Katara, Tiffany, Tia, of course. Charmaine, we appreciate you and your family, the Powell family, the Malone family. We appreciate all of you guys, man. Thank y'all so much. I'm going to check my notes again real quick. Yep, and I'm going to get you guys right out of here today to enjoy y'all Saturday. Yep, looks like we hit everything in the chat. So that's it. So I just look forward to seeing you guys on Monday at 7 p.m. Let me see. Yep. And then somebody asked again about those tickets to the conference. That's popclive.com. I'm putting it on screen right now. And again, the ILF Mastery Blueprint and the Accelerator, they're both are eligible to come to the conference for free, complimentary. So if you purchase either one of those, I'm actually going to pay for you to come to the conference. Okay. Memory Mugguts. I'm not even sure how to say that, but memory, you text that. I put it on the screen for you. You also asked about the coaching. So make sure you watch the webinar and let's get on a phone call together. Let me see. Lone Dennis, you also put something about the coaching. So make sure that we get on the phone call together as well by next week and watch that webinar. And just by chance, if somebody watches that webinar today and you know that you want to move forward, I'll literally have a call with you today. Other than that, wait on that link from my team. And we can discuss next week. But if you know, like finances is not a problem, your time is not a problem, and you know you want it, we can actually talk today. I love the people that move at the speed of instruction. So if it's anybody that wants to start today, you absolutely can have a call today. Amina says, thanks so much. I am ready. Thanks, Amina. We appreciate that. Amina, if you ready, so are we. Ooh. And Andrea said we'll be 8 degrees on Tuesday. Andrea, where are you? Wow. Am I reading that right? Or did you forget a 0? And did you mean to say 80? Oh my God. 8 degrees, Andrea? Amina, let me know where you're tuning in from too, because I thought Charmaine was the coldest at 35. Who's colder than Andrea at 8 degrees right now? That is crazy. Yeah, put in the chat where you are. Sky's over there in Daytona. That's interesting. Wow, she said 8 degrees. Wow, wow, wow. And I think you guys are a little delayed, so I'll wait a little bit. I want to see where she is. So let me remove this stuff. And guys, we are officially closed, so y'all just want to hang around where I kind of dilly-dally a little bit here. You can. I just want to make sure that we answer all questions, which we did. I'm just removing some stuff. And I'm waiting on a response from Andrea if she's still here. Andrea said it'll be 8 degrees on Tuesday. I just want to see where she is. I'm just nosy. I want to see where that is. And Amina, if you can put just real quick, where were you located at again? And then I think it was one more thing. Let me see. No, that was pretty much it. I'm going to save that other stuff for Tuesday. And then last thing before I go, y'all, nothing is easy, but everything is possible through God. Okay. So I'm no pastor, no priest, no bishop, but we do love God. We love people and we love real estate. And we think that God is the cheat code to everything. God, softwares and systems, and virtual assistants. That's kind of what help us be great in life. God first, software and systems, and virtual assistants. Okay. Oh, Amina, your family then. You're super close. You're in Melbourne. We have houses in Melbourne. Okay. Palm Bay area. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff, Amina. Yeah. So we already got people that we've launched there and you're close to us anyway. So, yeah, no problem, Mina. We look forward to teaching you if that's what you want. Mina, don't forget, right? Takes that word scholarship too now, right? Although I would love for you to pay the $7,500, I want you to get the scholarship if that's available. Okay. And as I said, a Google review alone does that right at $500. And we got some more scholarship type stuff. So if that's what you, oh, and don't forget, and I'm glad I stayed on just to say this. We have several people ask us all the time that if they wanted to join in with somebody else, could they do that? Absolutely. If that helped you with cost and you didn't have $7,500, but you got $3,750, and maybe you want to join with somebody, you can do that. In fact, I announced, I think that was last Tuesday night. I announced that we had a lady that's waiting. She already had her $3,750. Like she's waiting on a partner, right? So I'm actually having a call with the with the lady today that may want to partner with her. And what's so cool about it, you guys, I don't even allow y'all, if y'all don't want to be like partners. Y'all don't have to work together. I only do that to allow you guys to help with cost. So if you say, Derek, yeah, I want to join that lady, but I don't know her. I want her to be my partner. No problem. I just allow that so that you guys don't have to pay $7,500, which again, $7,500 is a no-brainer for what all you get with the coaching. But again, I'm having a call today with the lady that wants to join with somebody else that's already ready. Now, if she don't go through, I'll present that to somebody else. But if you're in this room, prime example, like if Sky and Amina want to join together, y'all can pay $3,750 a piece and boom, y'all are accountability buddies now. Or not, if you don't want to work with each other. Andrea, if you want to partner with somebody, you guys can cut that in half. And in fact, we got a word that if you text the word half to that same phone number, you'll already let me know that you want that. And again, if we got somebody that's in waiting, we'll join y'all together to help you with the cost. So that same number that's scrolling below, you guys can text the word half, HALF. If you want that, we'll send you that invoice and an opportunity to do that. And that'll also lead to a phone call. Other than that, man, you guys be great. I love y'all like a fat kid love cake. We'll see y'all Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Now unto him that is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we can ever ask or think, according to God's power that worketh in us. Amen. You guys be great. And we'll see you guys Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern. And anybody that want to talk today, as long as you watch that webinar and you want to move forward, we can actually do that today. And my team will see it and they'll let me know. You guys be great. And we'll see you guys next time.